Hey guys, this is me, Vincent Sun, the Wandering Warrior. Now, you may remember that last summer I went to Inner Mongolia to compete in the Mongol Naadams.
There's many level. There's levels to this, and you can take that one of two ways. You can say, oh, the benchmark is up here. I'll never get there. Or you can say, well, I went from zero to a decent amateur. I go from a decent amateur to someone who comes here and puts in a lot of time consistently. And I can eventually be that guy that comes here consistently and starts catching people and starts learning to eventually being somebody who is clearly a competitive option. Yes. And maybe someday a Chang'an and so on and so forth, right?
And then instead of being daunted, I was inspired to go back, put in the work, and train. And so in the winter of 2023 to 2024, I was in the wrestling camp in Shilin. As you guys recall, winter training was pretty difficult. I was sick for 2 of those 4 weeks, and it was 3 hours of wrestling in the morning and 3 hours of strength and conditioning in the afternoon. It was a very difficult process, but I grew a lot from it, and it was an amazing experience to be surrounded by 30 to 50 different high-level wrestlers, different ages, different experiences, all united by Mongolian wrestling, but also coming from other backgrounds as well, whether that's Shuai Jiao, judo, or freestyle wrestling. Now, after coming back from winter wrestling camp, I returned to the Boston area, and with some of my boys, was practicing the things that I learned and attempting to really soak in the lessons from the winter training. Now, I know some of you guys think I'm crazy. A lot of these guys are a lot bigger than me, right? There's a no weight class, no weight division wrestling sport, Mongolian wrestling. So there's no time limit, no weight classes. These guys have been wrestling oftentimes since 4 or 5 years old. I'll never beat their level of experience. And they live a lifestyle of herdsmanship. So they're already wrangling animals, wrestling down horses and camels and oxen. And I did not grow up that way. And yet, when I went to the Naadams last summer, I felt that there was a chance I could feel what they were doing. Having a wrestling base already gave me the ability to feel what they were doing. I just wasn't as fluent. I just wasn't as strong. I just wasn't on that level yet. But that's the key word, yet. And in winter training, I felt that, towards the end, I was just starting to really start throwing people, catching people, sweeping people. And it wasn't clean. It wasn't easy. It wasn't pretty, but I was starting to gain the attributes that they have, that they live with, that they move with, that they naturally wrestle with. I was starting to get it. And so it's an amazing challenge for me. I love it. The idea that somebody who started wrestling at age 30 can find all the other ways, all the other attributes, all the other advantages to leverage so that I can be competitive with people that have been doing it their entire life. that I can close that gap in experience, that I can find all the ways in which the meta can be understood and any and all opportunities taken advantage of, that sounds amazing to me. So, for you guys who've been training with me, you know that for the last month and a half, I've been really honing the strategy, the walking, the gripping, and optimizing my move set for the upcoming summer. I'm really excited, and we will see what happens. I got to give a shout out to my guys for really testing me and putting on the competitive energy that needed to really get the best out of me in the course of this spring. Unfortunately, I obviously was not able to go to Inner Mongolia for those sparring sessions, but I did my best out here. So I'll give a shout out to Meng Mao as well as my good friend Tarek Alsagoff and everyone else that was able to contribute to this effort. And obviously, a shout out to Lavelle Marshall, also known as American Hangai, out in Inner Mongolia, my martial brother, who's out there doing great things. The first foreigner, me being the second, to be out there to truly be a Mongolian wrestler. And of course, a shout out to our coach, teacher, also known as Erdenchoft. That's his actual Mongolian name. We call him Ebaks or Echao in the more Chinese version of that. He's our Mongolian wrestling coach, and you saw some footage of him when I discussed my winter training camp experience. He's been really helpful, and I look forward to seeing him and more and learning more from him. And lastly, obviously, I want to give a shout out to my Taiwanese Shuai Jiao group and Zhuang Lao Shi for giving me the base in wrestling that I have. And it goes without saying that everyone who I've ever fought, everyone who I've ever trained with, everyone who I've ever trained has given me something. So thank you to all of you. Yeah, getting ready now, leaving in a few hours, feeling good. Time to see what I can do this time. Second time, going to Inner Mongolia in the summertime for the Mongol Naadams. Wish me luck, guys. In any case, thank you guys so much for following me on my journey. I'll salute yours. Peace.